Hello and welcome back to another video, and today it is non-league news, #5, all the big stories from around non-league football. So make sure you leave a like on the video. Let's try and smash 40 likes. This is the like target for all non-league news, so make sure you smash a like. Let's keep this series going. Subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 4K, and hit that little bell so you don't miss any of my videos, episode vlogs or non-league news as well. So yeah, let's get straight into the news. So our first story is another one that I was a little bit annoyed about on Sunday. Every time I record these on a Sunday, and they're usually like a big story that comes out in the evening. So last week on Sunday, Glenn Tamplin announced that he will put Billericay up for sale. Why is that? A Woking fan reported Glenn for taking drugs, reportedly, in the toilet. So he done his interview with the National League, I believe, and then the Woking chairman said that the police would like to speak to him after the whole drug problem, whatever. So they spoke to him. They said they dealt with the complaint, and obviously it was done and over. And then he gets in his car, he goes home. He then gets stopped by the police again, kids in the back, and then the drug stuff goes up again, which really annoyed Tamplin. Because he had his kids in the back, which is fair enough. He didn't look too great. If you did watch the interview, he was scratching a little bit. He then puts a statement on the Billericay Twitter that he will be selling the club, and lots of fans and stuff saying, "Oh, we thought this was going to happen. This was expected." He then said that he had a few people in mind that would be able to buy the club, or suitable investors. A week then passes. And this then starts to slow down. He can't find the investor. And put a statement out saying they can't find suitable investors who have enough money to pay the 30k overheads, which is massive. He then says on Thursday that he is going to be in the dugout as joint manager. They then win on Saturday against Hemel Hempstead, I think 2-0, which is a great result for him, a clean sheet. And then he opens up with an interview. It all keeps going on with Billericay Town. He then says that he enjoyed being the manager or something, and he was respected to make decisions. He does then apologise for sacking Harry Wheeler, which was nice to see. He did overturn his decision. He did try to persuade him. He did use the excuse of he's new to the job or something, but he then says he is looking for investors. There is the next 3 weeks. If Billericay, if Glenn Tamplin does not find an investor who he says is willing to have the dream of getting Billericay to the EFL, which I think no one is going to want to do, he is going to stay at the club, which I think is nice to see. He's put them into a position that is very hard to stabilise. 30k wages. I don't think they'll find an investor, because he said he spoke to some that are just going to rip the playing budget and the management budget lower down just so they can make it sustainable, which is going to be sad for Glenn Tamplin considering how much he invested. So yeah, he's probably overturned his decision, but it's also, I think, nice to see that he is probably going to keep Billericay afloat, and maybe they could get promoted into the National League. Our next story comes from the White Tigers down in Truro. Truro have had a troubled start to this season, but they've now got a new manager. Lee Robinson has got to overturn this poor start to the season, and he managed to get his first win as manager. He was formerly the manager of Taunton for 6 years, having a fantastic FA Cup run in 2016, and he also got them promoted to the 7th tier of English football, and hopefully he'll do well for Truro. They've had a really poor start, but to get that first win, well, hopefully, they're a good squad. They managed to get into the playoffs a few seasons. So, yeah, hopefully Lee Robinson can do a good job at the White Tigers. We then go up north to Chester, their stadium is finally finished. The council have said it's safe to use, which is great. They've postponed, I think, 4 matches, 3 of them due to the stadium and 1 due to non-East London international games. But they did manage to get their first win back at the stadium for a while, with a fantastic 5-3 win, a crazy game over Bradford, PA, which probably will be the game of the National League North. We'll talk about that later. with some late goals. Not some great defending, but some fantastic attacking displays to get Chester a win back at the Diva Stadium. Maidstone United's search for a new manager continues. They lost against Salford and they've lost 3 games in a row. Steve Watt is interested in the job. They've only lost, I think they've lost all their games under him by 1-0. I think he's just looking to really pot the bus, like the favourites for the job at AD Pennock, Graham Wesley as well. But I think the announcement for the new manager surely got to be coming in the next week, because the longer it drags on, the longer it's going to be uncertain. The Irn Bru Cup, the international competition, featured our 2 non-league teams. The 2 teams we care about in that competition. Boreham Wood played against Dunfermline, a championship side, at their stadium at 1 o'clock. But unfortunately, Boreham Wood lost on penalties. They gave up a good fight, 0-0, went to penalties, but agonisingly lost 6-5 on the penalties. That's fantastic to see. Obviously, I don't know if Dunfermline have brought out a backup squad or whatever, but considering we're talking about Scottish second tier team against a 5th tier of English football. But our other team, Sutton United, in the competition, managed to get their win against Ardree with a fantastic 1-0 win. Harry Wright getting a win up in Glasgow. And fantastic support from the youth fans. 100 fans went up to watch the Sutton groundbreaking win in Glasgow. Possibly a calculation of about 18-hour, 20-hour trip driving, some getting a plane to the game. Absolutely fantastic for Sutton, and that means that they'll be playing, they'll be in the draw on Tuesday for the games to be played on the 13th. And there are some big teams in the second tier of English football. I think their fans will be hoping for a home draw, and Sutton like their cup run. So yeah, that's fantastic for Sutton, and it'll be interesting to see who they get on Tuesday. So those are all the big stories from the week. Let's go on to the table, the game of the game weeks, and the shock of the game weeks. So the game of the game week in the National League. This was Aldershot versus Bromley. This game went on to like 2 past 5. It was going on for ages. Scott Rendell got an early goal, and then Bromley got 2 back straight away. But Aldershot, with a fantastic free kick, managed to overturn that 2-1 lead for Bromley to get a 3-2 win, and a really important win for Aldershot. Then look, shock of the game week in the National League is Dagenham Redbridge getting their 2nd win of the season. Elliot Romaine with a crucial goal to take the points back down to London. If we then look at the National League North game of the game week, it has to be Chester 5, Bradford 3. Bradford are doing really well at the top of the National League North, but fantastically, really important win for Chester. 5 goals, pretty poor defending from them, but they managed to get the win, and really great for them back at the Diva Stadium. And we look at the National League North, shock of the game week. Chorley 5, Ashton 0. Away 5-0 win against Ashton. Chorley are looking absolutely fantastically well. They're doing so well, and I really hope they maybe win that league. They're 7 points clear, and they don't look like they're going to stop anytime soon. And the game of the game week in the National League South is East Thurrock 2, St Albans 4. A fantastic 3 goals in about 3 minutes for St Albans to overturn a 2-1 win for the Rocks. Richard Shaw Silva, Sam Merston and Calais de Costa to get the win to St Albans. And then shock of the game week in the National League South is Truro getting their 1st win of the season away at Gloucester. Lee Robinson getting immediate effect from the players, who Gloucester are doing actually quite well. So fantastic win for Truro. Onto the tables. If we look at the National League table, Harrogate are absolutely smashing it. 22 points. And they're still unbeaten. 4 draws to start the season, and they keep winning games. They're doing fantastically well. A 3-2 win over Havant and Waterlooville, which I actually predicted. So yeah, good old me. And Wrexham, Leyton Orient continue their unbeaten run after a late goal from James Alabi to get a point against high-flying Halifax. Are doing fantastically well up there. And then we've got Salford returning, and they're starting to look into good form. 11 points from their last 5 games. If we then look lower down, Dagenham Redbridge are starting to look a little bit better. they're looking reasonably strong now. They got 2 wins, beating Braintree and beating Barrow. 2 really important wins, but they're still in that relegation zone. Maidstone have dropped into that relegation zone, and 5 losses in a row isn't great. And then we've got Dover and Braintree who've still yet to get a win. At the top scorers, we've got Adam Rooney of 7 goals, with Danny Rowe up there, and a lot of other scorers as well. If you look at the form table, Barnet are absolutely smashing it. Ever since they lost to Ebbsfleet, they've absolutely smashed it. 5 wins in a row. They're looking so strong. And maybe they've only conceded 2. They've only scored 7. Maybe their luck will change a little bit. They're doing really well from Barnet's point of view. They've got to go to Leyton Orient soon, which is going to be a really tough game. But yeah, fantastic from Barnet, considering the negative of the start of the season. They'd really turned it around really well. Then look at the National League South table, of course. We've got Woking, who got a disappointing draw against Concord, but they're still top of the league. And you've got Billericay, they're still up there, 19 points. Then look lower down, we've got Dartford, who are struggling, and they've only managed 1 win out of their last 5 games. They have signed Charlie Sheringham, which may help them a little bit, but they'll be worried down there. Then look lower down, we've got Truro, of course, got their first win of the season, actually. So good old Lee Robinson getting it for them. Weston-super-Mare are really struggling. No wins and only 2 points from their first 9 games. They really are struggling down there. And also got East Thurrock down in that relegation zone as well. Then look at the form table. Hampton and Richmond are at the top of it. A fantastic run. Same with Woking, of course, are top. Also got Gloucester up there. They're doing fantastically well. Then look lower down. Hemel Hempstead are struggling a little bit. And, of course, Weston-super-Mare and Dartford, again, only 1 win from their last 5 games. If we then look at the National League South top goal scorers, we've got Jake Robinson with 10. Fantastic return from only 9 games as well. Also got Max Krashamar, who is a really hard name to say, but he's scoring a lot of goals. And also a Wall from Concord, who have had a bit of a rough spell after their great start. And look at the top of the National League North. We've got Chorley, a 7-point gap at the top. They're absolutely fantastic, and they managed to get a 5-0 win on Saturday. They're doing fantastically well, and they really are smashing it. Then look lower down. We've got York, who are not doing too great at the moment. We've also got teams like Bradford PA, Telford, Boston doing fantastically well. Chester will be hoping to push themselves up a little bit. Got a fantastic win against Bradford, doing really well. FC United of Manchester, they've got 2 points, hoping that will maybe push them up a little bit. And Nuneaton, we're hoping to get some more wins after that international break. Look at the form table, of course, we've got Chorley top of it, but Ashton United, after their good start and scoring a lot of goals, they've sinked down to the bottom. And same with Blythe and Darlington and Hereford as well, who thought maybe could have gone for another promotion. And if we then look at the top goal scorers, we've got Home from Altrincham and Udo from Telford. So I hope you enjoyed another edition of Non-League News. Make sure you do leave a like on the video. Let's try and smash the consistent 40 likes that we keep getting. To make sure you smash a like. Subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 4K. Don't forget to hit that little bell so you never miss any of my videos. And I'll see you all later. See you later.